trying to encapsulate my life into, you know, a couple sentences, like basically impossible. I'm in my 40s. I was born in 1966, and growing up in New York just became part of initially playground basketball culture, which introduced me to hip hop culture, introduced me to sneaker culture, and I've been able to somehow make a career out of all of them. My biggest achievements are probably being a DJ worldwide. I've DJed in 5 continents in over 40 countries. I also did a radio show with Stretch Armstrong. We were voted the best hip hop radio show of all time in 1998 by the Source magazine. I've also been a sneaker designer. Probably the biggest one that I've done was in 2007. I designed 7 shoes for the Nike Air Force 1 25th anniversary, and they were sold worldwide. I became a global ambassador for Nike that year. I went to Hong Kong, Beijing, Toronto, LA, New York, you know, speaking about sneakers. And you know, throughout it all, I've been able to accomplish things on the basketball side too. I've toured the world as an entertainer with a group called Project Playground. I've done halftime shows for NBA arenas, college teams. I also have done I've done over 40 Nike basketball commercials, and also played pro in Puerto Rico in 1987. People ask me all the time what are my favorites. I mean, I think 10, 20 years ago I had an answer for that, but at this point, it doesn't really matter so much to me as what I'm wearing on my feet that day. And so long as they're comfortable and they look cool, and hopefully not a lot of people have them, then that's the most important thing to me. Yeah, I wrote a book, and it came out in 2003. I worked on it for 4 years, called Where'd You Get Those? New York City Sneaker Culture 1960 to 1987. And it documented what I call the dark period. Before everyone learned about Jordans and about, you know, sneakers became like a global phenomenon. And before the increase of 300% of sneaker sales for the footwear industry, there was my generation of New Yorkers that, you know, we decided to lace sneakers differently. We decided to paint sneakers. We decided to, you know, experiment with brands that weren't known or marketed. And so we created this whole ideology that you see so strong today throughout the world. Like in the 70s and 80s, whereas people didn't spend so much money on sneakers or have as many sneakers, the sneaker was an extension of the personality, and it spoke. So you spoke, you know, maybe you painted your shoe, maybe did fat laces, maybe you laced it, you know, differently. But the idea was always to do something different. I think an event like Elementos is wonderful because you have energy just flowing through so many different people. You have foosball, you got playground basketball, you got skateboarders, you got graffiti writers, you got breakers, women, men, boys, girls. I don't think you could get a better environment for learning and for expression of fun than what's going on today, plus music, you know? And I'm about to DJ in a second, so it's all love.